for new. Old lamps.
Old lamps for new. Old lamps for new.
Hello, and welcome to Pixel Weaver's Let's Play of King's Quest VI.
Hello, I will be right up. Now, what can I do for you?
What is this place?
A plaque bearing a merchant crest hangs over the doorway. The bookshop owner must be proud of his credentials. While the bookshop does not seem to invite conversation, Alexander might be better off addressing someone specific.
It's so sassy. I love it.
Alexander has no ambition to set himself up as a merchant. Alexander is standing in a cozy little shop. Books of every size and shape line the walls. A crackling fire in the fireplace completes the tranquil scene. There's a small table near the door that bears a sign. The sign has undergone a number of changes. It once read 10 pence, but that was crossed out and replaced with 5 pence, then 1 pence, then free. The sign currently reads, "Take one, please." Only one book remains on the table. It looks like the bookshop owner really wants to get rid of that book.
I will take the book off your hands. Should we talk to the book?
The discount book table has nothing to say, and the sign speaks for itself. Alexander picks up the book from the small table.
Oh, yes, please take that book. You have my most humble thanks for doing so, good sir.
Did I just curse
Really?
myself?
Thanks.
What is this book?
Alexander is carrying a book from the bargain table in the bookshop. That object has nothing to say.
Interesting. Hand icon? Oh.
Alexander opens the bargain book and reads a paragraph at random.
2 dulcimers raised to the degree of 40 half-dulcimers, divided into equal parts by the third of a cackle of grouse geese, put over the result of 10 fine mackles, albeit small fine mackles, stretched over the total of 53 and an eighth bottles of wild beast lard.
Phew, what an incredibly boring book. No wonder the bookshop owner wanted to get rid of it so badly.
It's just a boring book. I didn't even know what the heck it was even talking about. I love that I have a boring book, though. Okay. That's great.
A collection of children's books fill those shelves.
Oh.
Alexander would have to read the books to hear what they have to say.
True. It's a good point.
Alexander is a little old for those children's books.
You're never too old for a good children's book.
These shelves hold a collection of oddly titled guidebooks. Alexander notices such books as How to Become King with Little or No Rupees Down, Finding the Right Girl with the Right Dowry, and Why Good Princesses Like Bad Wizards.
Oh. I want to know. Can we pick that book up? I want to know why good princesses want bad wizards.
Alexander would have to read the books to hear what they have to say. Alexander is not interested in those self-help books.
I'm interested.
There's a book entitled The Changing Role of Court Entertainers Through the Ages on the small table in the reading area. It appears that some regular customer likes that book.
What was the book?
Alexander searches for a way to reach the black-haired girl whose memory will not escape him.
Oh, I didn't mean to click on myself. Wait, move over here.
A stone fireplace gives the bookshop a quaint, cozy air.
It really does.
Snap, crackle, pop. Snap, crackle, pop.
Okay. Can we touch the fire? Is he going to be sassy about this?
And burn a perfectly good hand.
Yeah. Can we grab this book?
Alexander
Oh.
rests his feet for a moment. Alexander picks up and leafs idly through a book called The Changing Role of Court Entertainers Through the Ages. Well, that was refreshing.
Somebody is a court entertainer, like a jester around here. Okay. Well, obviously we want to check out this hooded guy.
An old man occasionally steals sidelong glances at Alexander from under a concealing hood. For some inexplicable reason, Alexander feels compelled to avoid this hooded old man.
Don't avoid him. What if he's a nice guy? Let's talk to him.
Good day, sir.
The mysterious old man just ignores Alexander.
Huh.
Good day, sir.
The mysterious old man just ignores Alexander. The bookshop owner is a thin, middle-aged man. His intelligent eyes are slightly blurry from long nights spent reading by candlelight. The shopkeeper doesn't look like he would enjoy a good arm wrestle or any other sort of physical exertion. He's
Come
rather
here.
bookish.
He's rather bookish. What else? What's this on the table?
An antique leather-bound book is displayed on a little stand on the counter. On the elaborate cover is the title, Ye Useful Book of Magic Spells.
Ooh. Now that is something that could be very helpful for us.
How much for that book on the counter, merchant?
It is a fine book, is it not? I obtained it from the estate of the one and only magician this kingdom has ever had. Poofed himself into an aardvark in the end.
Oh.
So I heard. I never found the spells all that useful myself, but then I lead a boring life.
Oh.
I tell you what, if you can find another rare book, something a bit more marketable, I might be willing to exchange the spell book for it.
Okay. We just gotta find another book at some point.
Good day, sir. I'm a stranger in this land. What can you tell me about the land of the Green Isles?
That is quite a question, young man. Who are you, and what would you have me tell you?
My name is Alexander. I know I'm on the Isle of the Crown, but I'd like to know whatever you can tell me about this island, and if there are other islands nearby.
You are indeed a stranger. Anxious is the man who knows not the customs of the land beneath his feet. This island is called the Isle of the Crown, because the royal family's castle is here.
Oh.
Besides the castle, we also have this village, and the docks over to the west. There are at least 3 other islands: the Isle of the Sacred Mountain, the Isle of the Beast, and the Isle of Wonder.
Ooh.
At least 3? Does no one know for certain?
This is no ordinary land, Alexander. The land of the Green Isles has always been a place of vague boundaries, as if islands come and go. Legend speaks of a 4th island, an isle shrouded in mists. I myself have never seen it. Then, too, the land of the Green Isles is said to exist on the boundaries of this world and the next. Even darker places are reputed to be closer here than anywhere else in the world.
That's quite a claim.
Claim, yes, but probably just local superstition. We who live here on the Isle of the Crown, at least, sleep well enough at night.
Those first 3 islands you mentioned, how might I learn more about them?
Ideally, a young man seeking such knowledge would travel to their shores and learn about them firsthand. Meeting the leaders of each place would be helpful, naturally. Unfortunately, the ferry no longer runs between the islands. There has been much political unrest, and it has been
Oh.
too dangerous to travel for years.
Oh.
Perhaps the ferryman can tell you more. He has little enough to do these days. And if you haven't been there already, you might seek an audience at the castle.
Thank you kindly, merchant, for all your good advice.
Thank you.
Ah, but advice is free, Alexander. Making use of it costs much more.
Ooh, we just got schooled. We have to go to the castle anyways because we're looking for our lady.
These shelves hold a selection of cookbooks.
I like a good cookbook.
Alexander isn't interested in the cookbooks on that shelf. He's had an aversion to cooking ever since he experimented with a certain cookie recipe involving cat hair and fish oil.
What's wrong with you, Alexander? Also, you lived a life of luxury. You're a prince. You didn't even ever have to cook. Let's be real for 1 second. Oh, and that's a King's Quest 3 reference. Oh, that's fun.
Assorted travelogues and biographies are arranged on these shelves. Alexander would have to read the books to hear.
I never will read a book ever in my life.
Right now, Alexander is too involved with the journey he's on to take time to read about the journeys of others.
Indeed. We are on our own adventure here.
Volumes of poetry are on display on this bookshelf.
You're a romantic guy, Alexander. Let's find some romantic poetry for Our Lady.
Thinking of Cosima, Alexander decides to leaf through one of the volumes of love poetry. Thy hair, thy lips, thy beauteous face, and all thy studied female grace have won for thee anon a place within this broken breast. And another.
Oh,
Upon the shore the lilies bend, untouched by worldly care, where shadow they her earthly bed. Oh, that she were not there.
oh,
Yikes. And another.
oh.
What was it when I looked at you? What power has chained me through and through, and binds my heart with links so tight I cannot live without the sight of you? What nameless thing has captured me, and made me powerless to flee? What thing is it without a name that brings my mind e'er back the same to thee? The name of love cannot apply. Its commonness does not decry the haunted, hunted, painful cry that my heart makes for you, that e'er my soul eternal makes for you.
A little close to home, that one.
Oh.
Alexander returns the love poem book to the shelf.
Oh. See this? Wait. First of all, chef's kiss. That's everything. What we have just experienced is exactly what I need in a point-and-click adventure. I almost walked out the door, and I never would have experienced 3 different love poems. And I wouldn't have learned that Alexander has such a sensitive, tender heart. The last poem hit close to home. Okay. Also, there's this page here, so let's make sure that we get it.
A page has fallen from the poem book and now lies on the floor. In his mind, Alexander can almost hear the fallen page say, "Pick me up, pick me up."
We will pick you up.
Alexander picks up the fallen page. It's the love poem he particularly liked. It must have fallen out of the poetry book.
I see that old volume has lost another page. You may keep it if you like, sir. I have glued the stubborn thing back in place 2 times already.
I do rather like it. Thank you, merchant.
Oh, I want a man like Alexander who, like, goes on a ship to go to the land of the Green Isles and find this woman that has captured his heart, and he's reading poems, and oh, this is so good. Personally, I think like, if someone wrote me a poem, I think I would cry. That is, it's just, but I'm kind of a sucker for those, like, romantic gestures. I've wrote poems for boys, and I've given them poems too, but I'm just such a romantic, so. We need to take a look at this poem.
Alexander has a love poem from a book in the bookshop.
Let's talk to the poem.
The poem's written words speak plainly enough.
Indeed.
Alexander reads the love poem. What was it when I looked at you? What power has chained me through and through, and binds my heart with links so tight I cannot live without the sight of you? What nameless thing has captured me, and made me powerless to flee? What thing is it without a name that brings my mind ever back the same to thee? The name of love cannot apply. Its commonness does not decry the haunted, hunted, painful cry that my heart makes for you, that ever my soul eternal makes for you.
Oh, wow. That was amazing. I was closing my eyes and kind of, like, imagining a very cute boy, like, reading that to me, and I was very happy. Who knows? Maybe I'll find a boy one day who will write me a poem. A cute boy? Question mark? I'm sorry. A handsome daddy. Let's get it right. Okay. Wow. That was that was just a lot. I wasn't expecting from a bookstore, so great. Old lamps for new. Old lamps.
Old lamps for new. Old lamps for new.
Old lamps for new, and don't you forget it. Okay, let's move on. Oh, so pretty. All right, let's take a look at our view, shall we?
The house is made of stucco in an architectural style native to the island. It is apparently quite old, since climbing vines embrace its exterior.
A lady? Oh,
You lazy thing! Get back to work and stay away from those roses! I've told you 1,000,000 times, those flowers are too sweet for the likes of you! You've still got to do the breakfast dishes, make lunch, and clean the stables yet this morning! And get your veil back on! No one wants to look at your face!
Yes, stepmother.
can we save her? That was so unpleasant. I feel so bad. We're gonna save her. I have a feeling about that. Wow, that was so mean. All right, let's see what else.
There are rose bushes back by the house, as well as the ones on the fence. Somebody who loves roses must live here.
I think it was that woman.
Alexander can't see any way to hold a conversation with that. Alexander is greeted with silence. The towering mountains of a distant island are appealing to Alexander's eyes.
They're appealing to mine as well. Shall we talk to the mountains?
Alexander's voice would get lost in the sea breezes long before it could reach the mountains.
Oh, it's so good. See, we have to take a minute. We really do, you guys, because the writing is blowing me away. If someone were to say to me, here's a picture, And I'm sure the writer did not even get a picture. I'm sure she's the one that wrote it in her brain, and then the pixel artist like probably created it. But if someone gave me this and said, okay, your job is to write little blurbs for a person to click on. So if they were to say chat to the mountain, what would you write that would be interesting and fun? No way would I ever come up with something like this. Let's listen to it again.
Alexander's voice would get lost in the sea breezes long before it could reach the mountains.
Long before it could reach the mountains. It's like these little things that, I mean, truly, I just love. The voice acting is excellent. The writing is excellent. I'm really, really enjoying myself.
Alexander is standing on a dirt street leading through the village. To his right is a fine house with a private yard. The yard is surrounded by a gated fence and is full of red rose hedges. The street continues off to the northwest, from which direction Alexander can feel a light sea breeze. Palm trees, as graceful as gazelles, wave in the warm tropical breeze. The rocks are silent, as they have been for ages untold.
As they have been for ages untold. I love it. Let's talk to the palm tree.
The palm trees whisper in the slight breeze. The gate is closed. It appears that the house's owners like their privacy. Squeak.
Just in case you wanted to know what it was like talking with the gate, now you know. Once again.
Squeak.
Can I interview the narrator, please? I want to know what he was thinking. One more time.
Squeak.
Let's go in.
Alexander doesn't want to intrude on private property unless he's been invited.
Really?
Alexander can't reach the house's door.
Man.
Alexander doesn't want...
Bummer. Can we go over this way? Oh! And here is something I would have totally missed.
Stranger, come join me. The water is wonderful, and I can show you the way to the next island.
What?
A young boy is happily swimming in the sea off the docks.
Oh, I'm being told to save right now. Okay. Oh, type the description of this saved game? Okay.
Come on, jump in. A little water won't hurt you.
Am I gonna drown?
A young boy is happily swimming in the sea off the docks.
What are you waiting for? I said I'd show you how to get to the next island, didn't I?
He's lying. I feel like someone told me at the beginning of this stream that you're not supposed to go into water.
That's strange. The young boy in the water just disappeared. Oh well, perhaps he just dove under the water.
What? What? That was so weird.
The ocean currents continue to murmur, but they do not reply to Alexander.
Huh.
The waters in this cove appear calm, but there's a dimpling pattern to the surface, which indicates an undertow.
Ooh. You guys, am I gonna get eaten by like a sea dragon? What's happening?
A decrepit pier juts out into the sea. A worn wooden vessel has been dry docked on a jetty. The boat is in sad shape. A hole in the hull and the condition of its boards make it obvious that the vessel is no longer seaworthy. The boat does not reply. The pier has nothing to talk about.
Well, nobody's got anything to talk about around here. Is there anything else?
The ocean currents continue to murmur, but they do not reply to Alexander. Alexander can see the peaks of another island on the horizon. Alexander is standing at the island's docks. Both the pier and the only boat in sight are in sad repair. The ocean currents continue to murmur. That boat is not going anywhere.
Okay.
The splintery boards of the pier would not be pleasant to the touch. Considering the poor condition of the shore, it looks like the easiest way to get into the water is just to jump off the pier.
Oh no!
All
Alexander!
the currents grab Alexander. Struggle as he might, he feels himself being pulled out to sea. The currents around the island pull Alexander under.
No!
As Alexander struggles to the surface for the third and last time, he finds himself wishing he'd paid more attention to the warning signs of an undertow.
What is happening?
Tickets up. Next.
Oh,
Nothing like getting swept off your feet.
my Valentino bag! Lipstick and my Valentino white bag! There's a hell in this game? I liked all the Skelly men. This one in particular has a mohawk, it seems. Nothing like getting swept off your feet. I totally died. Wow, okay. So I guess we want to restore where we were. Pixel Weaver, old lamps for new. Restore.
Come on, jump in. A little water won't hurt you.
No. I'm good. Goodbye. We're gone. Bye.
Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.